This is Sean with Gate City Foundation Drainage. We're on a job today in Greensboro. So what we've got going on here is we've got a bunch of water that sits in this backyard here. So take a look at this backyard. It's just very, very wet all the time back here. See all this mold? This bed stays really wet. This backyard area stays really wet. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to catch some gutters and send them to the front. So let's take a look at this. The homeowner said that this thing has never worked, so I guess it's going that way, but we don't know where it comes out. So this pipe here he dug up, and that one's going to like a catch basin that's right over there somewhere. And he said this thing just dumps out all this muddy water all the time. And then he's got one here as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do an above ground pipe, run it behind these shrubs through the beds, and then just dump it right here on the concrete. Once it hits the concrete, it's going to flow away. So that's going to take care of those two gutters. It's going to take all that water that's going underground and no one knows where it comes out and get it out here. So it's out of here. Let's take a look at the front here. This gutter is fine. That's just doing its thing. And then he's also got a bunch of water that lands in this bed here. So same kind of thing, he's got some underground pipes. He has no idea where they come out. And this whole area just stays soaking wet all the time. So we're gonna do the same thing with these. We're gonna do some above ground pipes in this natural area and just cover it back up with the bedding material. Discharge it onto this brick. I talked to him about that. It'll kind of fan out and then go down the hill. So that won't be any problem. On this side over here, this is another big problem. We have got this whole area here, which is always like washing out. And so we're going to trench. Let's see, I think we got two gutters back here. So yeah, we've got that one right there. We're gonna get that across to here, and then we're gonna go underground and start trenching. He's got an irrigation system, so that's turned off, I guess. And we're gonna catch this gutter here. And then he's really worried about seed and straw in here, so we're gonna put some sod down. We brought some sod with us. And then there's an outfall here already. We're just going to drop ours into it. Boy, we got a lot of utilities through here too. So we're just going to drop our outfall right here where this one is. Anytime you're trenching through shrubbed or landscaped beds like this with plants and things, there's really no good way to trench it. And so we typically will just run the pipes above ground and then just cover them up either with the mulch or whatever bedding materials in the bed, and that's not going to hurt anything. And so not only can we actually get our pipe through there, but we're not tearing up the roots and everything for the shrubs and vegetation.
Alright, this is connected to that.
Yeah, we're not sure what it does.
As in, I assume it catches that.
Yeah.
And takes it all this way.
Yeah. We're going to catch this gutter in the back here and run it along these vent wells. And then grab a sanitary tee here around and then dump it out right there. So I think I forgot to include this back one here when I was introducing you all to the project. On the back side here, we have absolutely no fall anywhere. And so we also have a couple of foundation vent wells that we're trying to go around. And so what we're going to end up doing here is going above everything. And so we're going to start out high, and the pipe is going to be completely exposed, but that's how we're going to get our fall. And so if we were to bury a pipe in this back area, it would just be going uphill to the front because there's absolutely no fall back here. And so what are some things you can do to make this ugly pipe look better? Well, you can paint it for one thing, so spray paint it to match the brick, or you can put some shrubs in front of it, or things like that that'll help. Keep going. We're trying to achieve fall over here by pounding that in a little bit more, that vent well. Working behind shrubs is pain. Alright. We've got sanitary T with a street 22 coming on from over there. And then we're going to street 22 right here, kind of straighten our line out a little bit. Okay, this is looking pretty good, so we're just going to be dropping onto the concrete here. Once it hits the concrete, it'll be flying down the driveway. So we had to mind our fall here, and since the concrete is a fixed point, there's nowhere to get our pipe other than onto the concrete. We had to stay above ground in order to have our fall going down. So this is looking pretty good on this side. I was talking to the homeowner and I said, you'll be surprised at how much water is coming out of there. And I used the term unaccounted for, and it's a cool way to think about it because he's got all this water coming off the roof here and he doesn't know where it goes. It just disappears underground, and then he can't find where it's coming out. So whenever we come back out here to look at this in the rain, we're going to call that water that was unaccounted for, and now it's accounted for. I wanted to talk about this patio area for a second. So you've got this roof up here and this gutter that has no downspout, so it drops onto the roof right here and goes into this gutter, which also has no downspout, and the water has to flow across here and then down into this gutter and then across here to this downspout. So what he's having happen is a lot of water just gushes over these gutters. And there's no real way to fix that. We could have done a downspout right here if they had put a pipe in before the patio. So it's a little bit of a poor design, but sometimes that's what happens when you have a nice patio like this. So we're going to get rid of all this water. If the water gets into my pipe, it's gone. So we're getting it this way, going that way. And Jeremy and Carlos are working on this downspout right here. Same thing, going that way. we're down here on this final run here, and we've got our cable in here, and I thought I saw it laying in here.
There was a cable laying over there.
Where?
Over on that side.
No, that's not it. I swear I saw that thing.
Yeah. That's been the only one I've seen.
No, it was a fiber cable. We don't want to take out his fiber.
So, like, that's the one.
Is it round?
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah, that's coax.
Okay.
The one that's marked as a fiber.
Okay.
Here it is.
Oh, hold on.
Can you get past the root and find it?
They actually dug it in some places.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Okay. I don't know if it'd be better to... We could probably
Dig it out?
get over it right there, couldn't we?
Well, see, here's the problem, though. This thing was marked weaving in and out, in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns into a whole mess down there. So I'm almost thinking it might be better just to uncover all of it.
Okay.
Pull it out of the way.
Yeah. Put it back.
Trench, put it back in.
Okay.
Let me grab a shovel so I can carefully work.
Let me show you what we've got going on here. The yellow line is what we just sprayed for our pipe going down the way. This yellow mark right here is gas, which is coming along here to our gas meter. And then we have our fiber optic right here. And I don't know what that, they always try to write me letters. NST, maybe North State. That's probably what it is, North State. But you see how close we're gonna get? Now it's very tempting just to go right through here. But if we cut the customer's internet, they won't be happy. So I'm gonna hand dig it. Damn utilities. This could have been an easy job.
Oh, well.
You got all that together up there?
Yeah.
How'd it go? Pretty good? Nice. And you got it on camera.
Yep.
All right, Carlos just found our internet. So there's our line going through there. And there it is right there. But then they have a line over here, right there. So it looks like it's going this way instead of out this way where they have it marked. Boy, it's tempting to just run that trencher right through here and be done. What do you think, Jeremy?
Is the gas one here?
Very tempting, but
Here's the
rather
gas.
not get the
No
customer,
way.
problem.
Holy crap.
What?
Look at how shallow that gas is.
Wow.
That gas is like 4 inches thick, 4 inches deep.
Crazy.
Yeah. I would have never thought that. Yikes. Okay, let me show you where we're at. We've got internet there, gas there. The lines are coming down through here. So we found the fiber right here, and we've got gas right here. And our trench wants to be here. We also found what looks like tape right here, but we haven't found the actual gas line. And then we found fiber right there. So I think I'm good to trench just right along here and then stop like right maybe here-ish. Stay away from that pipe. So I'm going to bring you all along and see how we do. Take a look at what we're dealing with here. We've got our gas line tape right there. It's kind of washed out with the light, but here it is again right here. And so we got a bunch of roots here. I brought my small mini excavator to tear through these roots, but with that gas line being that close, I've been shredding this root for like a half hour, and I'm finally through it. What a pain. I don't think we hit any sprinklers or sprinkler lines, so I forgot to turn the water back on before we covered it up, so let's just at least give it a try here. There we go. I don't hear any water going through there. So that's a really good sign. That was a miracle that we didn't hit any sprinkler lines. I always tell the homeowners that the best, most effective way to deal with sprinkler lines is just to run the trencher, and if we hit them, get a irrigation guy to fix them. The reason we do that is because I've heard horror stories of customers paying hundreds of dollars for the irrigation company to come out and locate, and they can't locate it, or they do locate it and we end up hand digging and then we hit it anyway. So it feels kind of like a cop-out to say we hit the lines and you fix them, but there's just no other way to do it with sprinkler lines. All right, this condensate line here I just noticed. So we've got a 4x4x2 adapter and a 3/4x2 bushing right there. And the homeowner just went and got me a 3/4 90. So we're gonna drop that right in there. And I bet before we leave, that drip will be at the road. Hot?
As I am sure both of you and Carlos are as well.
Yeah. Okay, condensate line is now caught. And again, thanks to the homeowner, I got bested by a 10-cent fitting. Didn't have one. We are getting this area covered up, and the homeowner was really worried about all the water that rushes through here and all this bare soil. So we brought some sod in, and I'm going to try to flatten this out a little bit with the mini Bobcat and get our sod laid out. Okay, I don't think you've ever seen me track over a brand new trenched pipe like that. And the reason I was okay doing it here is because we are just screaming downhill. So we're flying downhill through here. Hopefully this steep angle shows up on the camera. But usually I'm worried about getting a dip or something in the pipe if you put that heavy machine on it instead of letting it settle by itself. So I was okay with doing that today. We are finished with this job. So on this side we caught that gutter, and the homeowner's got some paint. He's going to paint this pipe. The reason we're up so high here is because the concrete right there is a fixed point. We can't go any lower than that, so we had to stay high on this side to get our fall right. I'm sure you can see that pipe falling downhill right there. And we caught that gutter and this one, and we're just discharging right here onto the concrete. Once the water hits that concrete, it'll be gone. We've got a really steep slope right here. Around the front, Jeremy and Carlos did those two gutters. So they're coming out right here. And the homeowner said that the water would just like shoot up out of these things. He even said the water would shoot out of that connection up way up there. And he's trying to find me some video of that too, which would be cool. Over here on this side, we caught 3 gutters over here, and we put down the sod to try to help with the erosion. So this is not like a perfectly manicured sod job here. This is just a erosion control. And take a look at this. We caught that gutter and this one. Now let's talk for a minute about appearance. So this pipe is kind of sticking out of the ground, right? It looks kind of bad. Well, there's the pipe that was in the ground, and that pipe doesn't care if you're going up or down or whichever way. And so this, we can plant a bush or something here. We can fix and deal with the looks. What we can't deal with is a pipe that doesn't work right. So this can be dealt with. We're going to be heading on down the way here, taking all that gutter water out of the equation. Right now, all that gutter water is unaccounted for. We caught this gutter and we caught that condensate line, and so we extended our sod a little bit until we got into the needle bed here. And like I always say, we didn't want to go too deep here with the roots, so it's always okay to use pine needles to cover up drainage solutions, but don't use pine needles to cover up drainage problems. So let's see if that condensate line, that little tiny drip that you guys saw, let's see if it made it out here yet. Oh yeah, it sure did. Look at that. Look at that. That's why you use PVC pipe right there. A little tiny drip in about 30 minutes made it all that way. Now we do have a ton of fall here, but still, look at that. And the homeowners told me he can't wait for it to rain now. Alright, I was flying my drone and there it is. So let's see if I can get it out of there. There it is. I'm back out here where we did this drainage system. It's been about 2-3 maybe weeks, and I wanted to come out and check on it. We've got a light rain going on, so we got a pretty good flow coming out of there. And that was, what was that, 3 gutters I think on this side. So let's walk up there and take a look. I just texted the homeowner. He said everything's working really, really well. Looks like he's been watering this sod. It's doing pretty well. Yeah, and these two as well. So that sod worked pretty well for stabilizing the bank. There's still a decent amount of water here, but this water, the gutter water, we're taking out of the equation. So I wanted to see how much is coming out of here. So look at that. All that water is water that was landing in the backyard with nowhere to go. And now it's heading down the driveway. Let's take a look at the front two gutters and see what's going on with them. Okay, nice. So same deal. That's all water that was landing in this front bed here with nowhere to get out. And now it's running down the brick, not hurting anything. When I first went and looked at this job, the first thing I noticed with it was that the back area was so flat, there was no fall. And so I was really worried about where I was going to take that gutter water. And obviously if the concrete on the one side is a fixed point, you can't dig down and then come up to the concrete level. So your pipe has to be above ground at that point. And what we do in that case is we create our fall by leaving the pipe above ground. And there are some issues or concerns with how the pipe's going to look when you leave it above ground like that. And some people may say the pipe is installed incorrectly. And so what do I consider a correctly installed pipe? Well, when I put my level on the pipe and it's falling, and then when you go out there during the rain and there's water gushing out of it, I'm going to say that pipe is installed correctly. And any kind of looks or issues like that can be dealt with later. And so this homeowner, I think he spray painted the pipes to match the brick. And a lot of times the homeowner thinks the pipes are a thing of beauty because they've often already been through the corrugated. That just gets buried and forgotten about, and it doesn't work right, and it's going uphill. And so when they see that PVC pipe and they know that it's working and they see water gushing out of it, even during the lightest rain, they think it's a thing of beauty. So the pipes looking bad, that can be mitigated, that can be fixed. I also wanted to mention Carlos. He's been renting from one of my apartments, and I ran into him at the plumbing supply house one day, and I was like, "You do plumbing?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he's been doing some work for me on the side, and you'll see him in more videos. That back patio with those gutters. Now, obviously they didn't want to run downspouts for whatever reason when whoever installed the gutters did that, and so now the homeowner's paying for that because water wants to take the path of least resistance, and in that case you're asking it to go horizontally across all those gutters and find one downspout for that whole area. And that's one of the reasons that those gutters are overflowing. The homeowner is going to get a gutter guy to reposition those and hopefully improve that. But unless you plan ahead and put some pipes in before the patio goes in, there's really nothing you can do back there. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. The homeowner now, it looks forward to the rain because now he knows that the pipes are carrying the problematic water away. And I often hear that where homeowners can't wait for it to rain now after they've been sweating the rain for so long. As far as the sprinkler lines go, we have hand dug and the homeowners have paid hundreds of dollars to get the lines located by the irrigation company. And after going through all that effort and all that time, we still hit the lines. And so we have found that the most efficient way to do it is just to trench wherever we're going to trench. And if we hit a line, we know exactly where it is and have the sprinkler guy fix it. Now, I don't fix those because there's so many different types of repair jobs and materials that are used around here for irrigation. I just don't carry all that stuff with me. And so I know it sounds like a cop-out to just be like, we'll trench and you fix. But that is by far the cheapest and most efficient way to do that we have found. And so this system has been working out pretty well for the homeowner and getting that problematic water out of the way. And remember, for a drainage system, for a drainage solution, you need to identify the problem water, you need to catch it into a pipe and send it to some place where it's no longer a problem, and then you need to be able to stand there during the rain and see that problem water flowing away and no longer being a problem. These companies that want to just take the water and disappear it into the ground, that's not solving anything. And so you've got to be able to show where that water is going and see that problematic water flowing away. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you can support the channel. You know what to do. The links are in the description. Thanks again. Thanks again for watching this video, and if you found any value or entertainment in my channel, you can support it and you know what to do here. There are also links in the description where you can join the channel and become a member, or become a Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can also give me a super thanks. Thanks again.